Hey everybody, welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Entitled Parents Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe and click on notifications so you don't miss out on the fun. In our first story, when our OP is returning from a deployment in Iraq, an entitled mother really wants his seat on the plane. Let's jump right in. This happened in 2006. I was in the US Air Force and deployed individually to Iraq, not with a unit. At the end of my rotation, I also took the rotator back by myself. It was a commercial 747 the military paid to take a bunch of us to the US. Back then, we typically wear our uniforms even on commercial flights. The guy in the seat next to me was similarly redeploying and also in his uniform. This was usually never a problem, because Americans were typically very kind to servicemen in their uniforms in public. I can't say how it is now, because that was a long time ago. We had a layover in Ramstein, Germany, and civilians began boarding. These were mostly wives, children, and other dependents of those deployed to Europe. It had to be obvious those of us already on the plane were coming back from deployment. We were in desert-patterned camo, glassy-eyed from mental and physical fatigue, and generally stunk of burn pit. Well, this woman with a baby comes right up to my seat and announces that we are in her seats. The other guy needs to move too because she wants to put her kid there. We were both kind of bleary and just stared at her in surprise. I didn't care where I sat, but the stewardess hurries over and says the flight is full and they can't reseat us. This woman shoves her ticket in the stewardess's face and says it clearly shows my seat number on her ticket. She wants to kick me and my seatmate off the flight. Clearly, she was more entitled to it than us. She flips her stuff right in the middle of the plane and goes off on the stewardess. I stayed seated, more out of shock than stubbornness. I'd been awake for longer than I cared to think about by that point, and I was not reacting quickly to anything. I guess my seatmate was in the same boat, because neither of us said a single word to her or moved a muscle at all. We just watched her make an ass of herself in front of all these gawking passengers. She ended up getting herself kicked off the flight. In all, it happened rather quickly, but it still stunned me. The trip from Iraq to my home station was already going to be several days long, and she thought nothing of forcing me and that other guy off just for her convenience. I don't know why she popped into my head today, but I can't imagine being married to that. In story 2, an entitled mother is buying some popsicles for her kids, and she really thinks she should be the one to dictate the price. Hello, this is my second post here, and I'm still angry about it because it happened like 30 minutes ago. First of all, a bit of context. I'm a 15-year-old male that lives in a medium wealth area in the north of Mexico, so English is not my first language. As I said in other posts on other subreddits, my parents have a small ice cream shop where we sell ice popsicles, ice cream, snacks, etc. We are having a strong heat wave here in the north, and that means we have more customers needing relief from the heat. We are not the only ice cream shops in the area. There are another 2 shops. They are both from bigger companies and have lower prices. Their quality is lower and the products they sell aren't natural like the ones we produce and sell. Luckily for us, these ice cream shops are closed due to the pandemic. The final piece of info is that our main employee, I'll call him Alfred, woke yesterday without any taste or smell, so we decided that he should stay home and rest due to suspicions of COVID. We have other employees that fill out our schedule when things like this happen. The one that came in to replace Alfred is a bit green. I don't work in the ice cream shop, but I tend to help out where I am needed. The story. As I said, this happened today. My father went off to work and wasn't home. My mother was on an online call from the school she works at, which was taking longer than she had expected. I suddenly heard a woman's voice screaming from the ice cream shop. My mother, still on her call, asked me to go check out what was happening. Our main business directly connects to our house. I went outside and found the employee, we'll call him Amador, yeah, that's his name, in shock, while a woman was shouting at him. Here's the conversation. "Excuse me, why are you shouting at my employee? He is refusing to give me wholesale prices." We do have wholesale prices for when we sell for parties and to other small businesses. If you order at least 20 products, then you can have the wholesale price. "Amador, what's the matter?" "She wants the wholesale price." "Yeah, I heard. How many is she ordering?" 15 ice popsicles." "I see. Sorry, but wholesale prices are only available on orders of 20 products or more. And please, don't scream at my employee. It is within my right to deny you service." Something my father taught me is that I need to be direct and not to give in to customers at the cost of our employees. "You are not even the owner of the business." At this point, I noticed that she left her Audi Q8 in front of the shop with her children inside, and the temperature is 34 degrees Celsius, 93.2 Fahrenheit. She is standing here complaining about wholesale prices while she has an Audi Q8, a vehicle that is worth more than the land our house is built on. "Sorry, miss, but I can't do anything to help you." "Why? You are the owner's son." "Yes, but our prices aren't negotiable." I looked out and saw her daughter shouting and punching the glass to try to get her mother's attention due to the heat. She was at max 7 years old, and from what I could see, she had a 1 to 2-year-old brother. The mother turned and shouted at her daughter, "Can you please flipping shut up? I'm going to get your flipping popsicle." She was swearing at her children. I was really done at that point. "See? She needs a popsicle due to the heat. Please give them to me." "Of course. If you pay, then I will give them to you." "Ugh. Fine." She handed Amador 105 pesos, $4.75, which was not enough to pay for them. She was paying 7 pesos for each popsicle, and our price is 12 pesos for each one. "Miss, this is not enough." "But that's the cost." "No, each one is 12 pesos, 54 cents, and you are only giving me 7 pesos for each. But this is the price of insert name of our competitor. You can buy them there for that price if you like, but we are not them. Our prices are different." My mother was getting concerned now and was starting to come out just as this woman turned on my mad mode switch. "You will give them to me now. I'm the customer and I'm right." I'm normally a good person when I am dealing with customers. That's why my father has asked me to take care of the store when he or my mom can't. This lady was shouting at me, at my employee, and at her daughter that was flipping cooking in her car. "Now I'm done with you. Get out. Get the flip out or I will be calling the police for harassment." She then spitefully kicked one of our freezers and damaged the electrical outlet. It's okay now. I only had to reconnect the cable to the power supply of the freezer. Then she ran away. The sad part about this is that I got grounded for this. Not because I refused her service, but because I swore at her and my mother heard me. I had just reached my limit. Really, I'm tired of people like this trying to ruin small businesses. In story number 3, when a crazy Karen goes to a party, her first priority is how much food can I steal? So a little backstory. My mom owns a catering company and I like to come along when possible and help out. Before COVID, of course. I have so many god-blank stories about Kyles and Karens, and unfortunately some end with no repercussions. I was able to scour an old dusty memory of a Karen, military wife version, and her entitlement. The cast is an entitled military wife, me, my mom, and the pregnant host. We were catering a gender reveal party for a pregnant host. My grandma and I baked a nice girl cake, decorated the venue with pink and blue balloons, banners, etc., and was able to get a pretty nice food table. However, even when we were done, the party hadn't started yet because the pregnant host still needed to get dressed or whatever, I don't remember. But the entitled military wife came early, like half an hour early. The pregnant host was slightly disgruntled, but it's not like she could kick the entitled military wife out. The pregnant host told my mother and I that we shouldn't mention any husbands or anything because she was touchy about it. We were cool with this. It must be hard to be a single mom, and we didn't want to make it harder for her. So we checked around, making sure the venue was nice and pretty, and my mom told me to make sure the food wasn't going to get cold. Otherwise, we'd have to heat it up, and we only had 15 minutes before the party started by that time. I went to the table and saw the entitled military wife just standing there. She looked uncomfortable and kept on patting her Karen bag handbag, but I ignored it. However, I noticed some of the pastries were gone, and the vegetable pies were also low. The entitled military wife seemed to get more and more uncomfortable the more I inspected the table. It wasn't long before things clicked and I put 2 and 2 together. Then I asked her about it. "Hey, can I ask you a quick question?" "Yes." "Some of the food on this table seems to have been taken. Have you seen anyone take any food from here?" The entitled military wife looks like she's gonna scream. "No!" What's that hanging out of your purse?" Needless to say, she was not happy. She immediately began to shriek like a toddler, saying that I was trying to hurt her and mocking her for being a military wife. The pregnant host came and did not look happy. I told my story and the entitled military wife told hers, which was absolute crap, by the way. When I snatched her purse and showed the pregnant host the pastries and pies, the pregnant host told the entitled military wife to get lost. The entitled military wife began to scream, "She's a single mom, blah blah blah," but she still got kicked out. The rest of the party went well, and I did not have to deal with any more Karens for the rest of the day. This is John from Slash Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then please hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.